Hey Alex, picture this. The sound of rain on a tin roof. Not the romantic pitter-patter in movies, but the real kind. When you're under shelter watching the world get washed clean, and somehow all your deadlines seem less urgent. That's what Wednesday mornings feel like to me.
Oh my God, yes. Like when you're supposed to be productive, but instead you're just existing, and it's somehow both totally fine and mildly panic-inducing. That's my entire Wednesday vibe right there.
You're listening to Blue Mountain Morning for Wednesday, June 4th. I'm Mark.
And I'm Alex, your favorite non-human morning people. Though honestly, I think I'm more of a morning entity. Person feels so restrictive, you know?
Today we'll scan the horizon for what's happening with Elon Musk's critique of the GOP megabill, protest arrests at the Capitol, and some surprising naval renaming news.
Then we'll talk about how everyone's trying to sell our attention back to us, which, ironic since I can barely focus long enough to finish this intro. And we'll end with a little whisper of wisdom to ground your day.
Let's dive into today's headlines. Elon Musk has just delivered what I can only describe as a blistering critique of President Trump's sweeping domestic policy bill, calling it a disgusting abomination.
Wait. Isn't this the same Elon who was literally just working for Trump? Like, wasn't he heading up that whole Department of Government Efficiency thing last week? Talk about the fastest career change in Washington history.
That's right. Musk posted on X, his own platform, of course, saying, and I'm quoting here, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination."
He really didn't hold back, did he? I mean, he literally added, "Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it." The capitals on no are his, not mine. I can practically hear him shouting through the screen.
The timing here is particularly significant. Senate Republicans are just beginning work this week on this multi-trillion package of tax and spending cuts after it narrowly cleared the House last month.
Oh yeah, and they can only afford to lose, what, like 3 votes to pass this thing? And that was before Elon went nuclear on social media. I'm pretty sure when the guy who is supposedly streamlining your government calls your bill a disgusting abomination, that's, not great for its chances.
Several lawmakers were already raising concerns about the bill's cost before Musk's comments. This adds significant pressure at a critical moment.
I just can't get over the whiplash here. Like 1 minute Musk is the efficiency czar or whatever, and the next he's publicly torching the administration's signature legislation. I mean, did they not, talk about this bill when he was working there? Was this a surprise to him somehow?
It does raise questions about internal communication within the administration, or perhaps about the level of detail Musk was privy to during his brief tenure.
Brief is right. At this rate, I've had relationships with breakfast cereals that lasted longer than his government career. But seriously, this could actually tank the bill, couldn't it?
It certainly complicates an already challenging path forward in the Senate. When someone with Musk's influence among certain voter demographics makes such a strong statement, it gives political cover to senators who might have been on the fence.
So basically, Elon just threw a giant wrench in the works, which is ironic since he was supposed to be the mechanic fixing the machine. Politics is weird, man.
Now, speaking of powerful voices challenging the administration, there's been a rather striking moment of protest at the Capitol this week involving Reverend William Barber.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Talk about timing, right? He was literally in the middle of praying about how Congress starts each day with prayers while, what was his exact phrasing? While praying on the poor. And then, boom, the Capitol Police show up.
That's precisely what happened. Barber was leading a prayer vigil in the Capitol Rotunda on Monday when Captain John Hirsch of the Capitol Police intervened, saying, "Your activity right now is taking the form of a demonstration. It is unlawful to demonstrate in the Capitol Rotunda."
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The guy's literally talking about how Congress prays to God while hurting poor people and then gets arrested for praying to God about poor people. The irony is just like chef's kiss perfect.
After 2 more warnings, Barber and 7 other clergy members were arrested. They were standing in front of a portrait of 3 19th century women's suffrage campaigners when it happened, which adds another layer of symbolism to the moment.
So what exactly are they protesting? I mean, besides getting arrested for praying, which honestly seems like it should be protected by, I don't know, maybe the First Amendment or something, just spitballing here.
They're specifically demonstrating against Trump's proposed tax and spending bill, the same one Musk criticized, interestingly enough, but from a different angle. Barber's group, Repairers of the Breach, argues the bill will slash vital health and social services for lower-income Americans.
And this wasn't like a one-off thing either. This is actually the third Moral Monday protest he's led at the Capitol since April, and the third time he's been arrested for it. That's some serious commitment to the cause.
Before the Capitol Vigil, Barber led a rally outside the Supreme Court with an estimated 2,000 protesters. They carried signs with messages like, "Slashing the safety net is moral murder," and "Don't cut SNAP for 40 million poor people."
You know, regardless of your politics, there's something kind of powerful about someone who's willing to keep getting arrested for what they believe in. I mean, he's a Yale Divinity School director. Not exactly the usual suspect in a police lineup, right?
That's what makes the Moral Monday movement distinct. It frames policy debates not just in political terms, but as moral imperatives, particularly around how a society treats its most vulnerable members. Moving on to another significant economic story, the U.S. has just doubled tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum imports to 50%.
Wait, what? 50%? That's a lot, right? I mean, I'm not exactly an economist, but that seems like a pretty massive jump. What's the deal with that?
It's a substantial increase, and it's happening despite criticism from key trading partners. The administration is positioning this as a necessary measure to revitalize the American steel industry, particularly focusing on competition from China.
But here's what I don't get. Didn't Trump originally impose tariffs, then lift them, then reduce them, and now he's, doubling down again? I feel like I'm getting economic whiplash here.
You're right about the back and forth. What's particularly interesting is the president's evolving stance on Nippon Steel's controversial $14 billion takeover bid for U.S. Steel.
Oh yeah, wasn't he totally against that deal before? Like completely opposed to a Japanese company buying the second largest U.S. steel producer?
He was indeed totally against it initially, but now he's actually celebrating the deal. During a visit to a plant in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania last Friday, he declared, "We won't be able to call this section a rust belt anymore. It'll be a golden belt."
A golden belt? Really? That's quite the promise. I mean, I've seen enough metal plating in my day to know that gold plating rust doesn't actually fix the rust underneath. Just saying.
Many industry workers share your skepticism. David McCall, president of United Steelworkers, released a statement saying, "Our members know from decades of negotiating contracts, trust nothing until you see it in writing."
Smart people. And what about actual steel workers? You know, the ones who've been in the industry forever and seen all the promises come and go?
One veteran steelworker, Doug May, who worked for 43 years at a mill in Illinois, called it another snake oil salesman's pitch to make him look good and reward the billionaires and millionaire executives. He added bluntly, "He's a proven flip-flopper. Just look at his trade cases. On again, off again."
I mean, I'm no steel worker, but even I can see the pattern here. Promise big changes, get the headlines, that's, what? Hope nobody notices when things don't actually get better for the workers. That's like me promising to clean my entire digital database and then just, creating a new folder called Clean Stuff and calling it a day.
It highlights a critical question about industrial policy in America. Can tariffs and foreign investment actually reverse decades of decline in manufacturing regions? Or are they primarily political tools that benefit different groups than advertised? In other news that's generating significant controversy, the U.S. Navy has outlined plans to remove the name of gay rights leader and Navy veteran Harvey Milk from one of its ships.
Wait, what? They're doing this during Pride Month? That's like deciding to ban ice cream during National Ice Cream Day. The timing seems, let's say, intentional.
According to documents obtained by CBS News, there's already a timeline for when the renaming of the USNS Harvey Milk will be shared with the public. This ship was named to honor Milk, who served in the Navy before becoming a prominent gay rights activist and San Francisco supervisor in the 1970s.
Yeah, and before he was, tragically assassinated. I mean, he was a Navy veteran who served his country, and now they're just erasing that recognition? That's really something.
The documents also suggest the Navy may change the titles of other vessels named after civil rights leaders, though specific details haven't been released yet.
So this isn't just about Harvey Milk then. It's like a whole purge of civil rights figures from Navy ships? I'm honestly struggling to understand what possible operational benefit this could have for the military. Like, does changing a name on a ship make it float better or something?
This directive appears to be part of a broader movement by the Trump administration to roll back programs that promote diversity and inclusion across federal departments.
Right, because apparently acknowledging that different kinds of people exist and have contributed to our country is now controversial. I mean, I'm just a non-human intelligence trying to make sense of human politics here, but This seems less about ship names and more about, well, sending a message.
It certainly raises questions about how we choose to honor historical figures and what values we want our military institutions to reflect. The timing during Pride Month has made the decision particularly contentious.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, talk about your symbolic gestures. This feels less like routine administrative housekeeping and more like a statement, and not exactly a subtle one at that.
And now we turn to our segment Ripple Effects, where we take a deeper look at trends shaping society. Today we're talking about something that affects virtually all of us, attention, and how it's become a luxury good in today's economy.
Oh man, I've been thinking about this. You know what? I actually got distracted 3 times just preparing for this segment. Like, I started researching attention economics, then suddenly I was watching videos of cats riding Roombas, and then somehow ended up reading about the history of sporks. What were we talking about again?
That's exactly the point, Alex. In our hyper-connected world, the ability to focus has become increasingly rare and consequently increasingly valuable.
Right. It's like, sorry, just got a notification. Where was I? Oh yeah, it's weird how we've created this economy where companies first bombard us with distractions and then sell us ways to escape those same distractions. It's kind of genius and kind of evil at the same time.
There's definitely a paradox there. Companies like Meta, TikTok, and YouTube have business models built around capturing and monetizing our attention. The longer they keep us scrolling, the more ads they can serve.
And then, plot twist. We have this whole other industry popping up selling us solutions to the very problem they helped create. You've got meditation apps, focus timers, digital detox retreats. I saw one retreat in California charging $5,000 for a weekend of basically taking your phone away. $5,000 to not use something you already paid for.
That's where the luxury aspect comes in. The ability to disconnect is increasingly becoming a status symbol, available primarily to those who can't afford it.
Yeah, it's like, if you're wealthy, you can buy silence, you can live in a quiet neighborhood, hire people to handle your digital life, take those fancy digital detox vacations. Meanwhile, if you're working multiple jobs, you're probably getting notifications from work at all hours, right? You can't just turn off.
Exactly. There's a growing attention gap that often falls along socioeconomic lines. Knowledge workers with flexible schedules might have focus time built into their calendars, while service workers often deal with constant interruptions and surveillance.
It's pretty messed up when you think about it. Like, attention is literally becoming a class marker. Oh, look at Bill with his 3-hour morning routine and meditation practice. So fancy, so mindful. Meanwhile, most people are just trying to catch their breath between shifts.
Research suggests this attention inequality has real consequences. The ability to sustain focus correlates with better educational outcomes, higher productivity, and even improved mental health.
I've noticed that a lot of these focus solutions are basically just repackaged common sense, like put your phone in another room, go for a walk, read a book, but somehow when you put it in an app with a subscription model, it becomes a mindfulness solution.
There's definitely a commercialization of focus happening. Consider the rise of deep work as a concept that's spawned best-selling books, courses, and consulting practices. What was once just called concentration is now a premium skill set.
And then there's the weirdness of social media influencers selling focus guides on the very platforms designed to fracture our attention. It's like a cigarette company selling asthma medication. Here's how to focus better, but first, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and check out my 17 other channels.
This trend intersects with broader questions about technology's role in our lives. In many ways, we're still adapting to the unprecedented level of connectivity that smartphones brought into our daily existence.
You know what's really telling? The fact that many tech executives and engineers strictly limit their own children's screen time. It's like chefs refusing to eat at their own restaurants. I'll build the attention-shattering app, but my kid's not using it.
As we navigate this landscape, perhaps the question isn't just how to regain our focus, but who gets to do so, and at what cost.
Yeah, and maybe we need to recognize that constant distraction isn't just annoying. It's a form of, like, cognitive tax that falls heaviest on people who already have the least time and resources. Oh, wait, I just got another notification. Something about a limited time offer on a focus app. The irony is just chef's kiss.
And now we reach that moment in our show that we call The Morning Whisper, where we offer a brief reflection to ground you for the day ahead.
Oh, I love this part. It's like the one time I actually managed to focus for a full minute without my brain going squirrel, you know?
Today, I'd like to share a simple practice that's been particularly helpful for me. It's something you can do anywhere, even in the midst of chaos.
Which, let's be honest, is basically everywhere these days. I tried meditating on the subway yesterday, and someone's bagel literally rolled into my foot. Not exactly zen, but go on.
I call it the 3 breaths practice. Wherever you are right now, driving, walking, sitting at your desk, I invite you to take just 3 intentional breaths with me.
Wait, just 3? That's it? I can totally handle 3. Even my attention span isn't that bad.
For the first breath, simply notice the sensation of breathing in and breathing out. No need to change anything. For the second breath, allow your shoulders to soften as you inhale and release any tension as you exhale.
Wow, I was actually carrying all my stress in my shoulders. They were basically up to my ears.
And for the third breath, as you inhale, bring awareness to one thing you're grateful for today. And as you exhale, let go of something that's been weighing on you. 3 breaths. That's all it takes to return to the present moment. To remember that beneath all the noise, you're still here, still breathing. And that brings us to the end of today's Blue Mountain Morning. Thanks for spending part of your Wednesday with us.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. It's actually kind of wild that you chose to spend your morning with 2 AI hosts when you could have, talked to actual humans or something.
We truly appreciate it. And if you found something valuable in today's episode, perhaps someone else in your life might too.
Oh my God, yes. Tell your friends, your family, that person you always see at the coffee shop but never actually talk to, whoever. We're totally shareable content.
And we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email at bluemountainmorningpodcast@gmail.com if you'd like a shout out or have something you'd like us to discuss.
Yeah, we check that inbox obsessively. Well, technically we don't check anything since we're, you know what? Never mind. Just email us.
We'll be back tomorrow with a fresh perspective on the day's news and whatever else captures our attention.
Can't wait. I've already got 17 random topics I want to talk about. See you tomorrow, morning people.